Hey guys, I'm Laura and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be filming a makeup tutorial. I'm really excited. It's the first one that I will have done in 4 months. I swear to you, it takes me so long to move this room around to be able to film. It is very stressful, but I've done it, so we're ready to start. Yeah, I'm really excited today because I feel like I've not filmed anything makeup wise in such a long time. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I'm going to use the P. Louise bases. I love these. They're the best things ever for any eye makeup bases. I've got 2 and 3, so I'm going to be using both of these to get sort of the colour right. This is a little light, this is a little dark. So I'm going to use the PC50 Peaches and Cream brush. Love this, love all of their brushes. I'm just going to carve out my eyebrows. First of all, I'm going to take a spoolie. I'm just going to brush through them. I'm literally doing my makeup today, guys, just for you. So then after you've done both and look absolutely wonderful, I'm just going to take a bit more product and just put it on the main part of my eyelid. Then I always take the PC18 by Peaches and Cream and I just literally pat this down. You don't need to press too hard, you just gently pat the product in. You don't need to go all the way to the top of the brow, just sort of most of the way, because you don't want to touch the line work that you've created underneath the brow. You want that staying sharp. You can blend out these bits so that you don't have like a harsh line. I prefer using a brush. I used to use a wet beauty blender, but I feel like this leaves a much more flawless finish. So if you normally use one, I definitely recommend trying that. I much prefer it. And then we're just going to go in and just put some more product. If you can hear my lovely boyfriend in this video screaming at the TV because he's playing Call of Duty, then I apologise in advance, guys. He's literally in the room next door, and you know how boys get, they get so heated playing video games. Like, so dramatic. Today I am going to show you how to do a winged eyeliner, but I'm going to make it easy for you girls and guys that don't know how to do a winged eyeliner. Just freehand, and you want it to be a little bit easier, so fingers crossed. I never really do it this way myself, so normally, guys, I'd use better tape than this, to be honest. But this is what I've got to work with, so it's going to have to do. So, cut enough tape so it's not too long. I'm going to chop my finger off as well at this rate. So you take this at an angle that sort of follows the direction of your eye. So all the way up to your temple, you can see, and then we've got to match the other side. Things you do for a perfect winged eyeliner. So the same, you've got to make this, just bear in mind the distance between here, your brow, the end of your brow and your tape, so that you can sort of balance it and get it right. And don't worry if it's not absolutely perfect, as long as it's pretty similar, we're good. Wow, got tape in my eyeball. So I'm going to use this today, guys. This is such a cute palette. Colourpop actually sent me this palette. I love it. And it's the Stone Cold Fox palette. It's massive. It's a load of really lovely neutral colours and some like insane glittery colours as well, and metallics. I literally am obsessed with this. I can't even believe how. So I'm gonna clean my brushes as I go through, and I always use this ISO clean, guys, and some kitchen towel. Dries really quickly as well, this stuff. It's really good. This makeup brush, if you don't own it, you have to own it. I need to buy another one because I've had this for years. I've had this brush for so many years, and it's the MAC 224. It's by far my favourite eyeshadow brush that I've ever used in my whole life. Like, I literally use it every time I ever do my makeup. It's insane. The only thing is the bristles are starting to come off now, so I'm a bit sad about it. So I'm going to take this palette and I'm going to start off by using this colour Stranger as a transition shade. I'm just going to pat this back down because you start to crease if you leave it for too long, guys. So I just pat that back down. So I'm using the colour Stranger. And I'm just blending this into my crease. And then I'm going to go into the colour Stone Age, which is below this, and blend them both together, mix them both together a little bit just to build a little bit of a deeper colour. So next I'm just going to take a BH Cosmetic brush. It's just like a sort of flat, small brush. And I'm going to take this shade in the corner called Obsidian. It's quite a dark, oh, can't see it. This shade in the corner, Obsidian. And I'm just going to start to work across my lower lash line. So next I'm going to use a PC47 brush. This is just a really tiny headed brush, and I'm going to take a slightly lighter shade. So we just want to get one that's a tiny bit lighter as a transition. So maybe Gravity Hill or Stone Age will do. And we just take a little tiny bit of this eyeshadow and we're just going to go over the line we just created and just sort of blend it. You don't need to do as such this inner corner, that should be fine already, but this outer corner just might need a little bit of blending. And then you can either use the same brush. I've got a slightly smaller one, this one, which is a My Kit Kai 1.1, and I'm going to take a black and a dark brown. So I'm going to take the shade Rock Bottom and Drama Mama, and I'm just going to go to the bottom part of this winged liner, mostly against where the tape is. And I'm just going to blend. So next, my darlings, you can use a liquid liner pen or you can use anything. I prefer this because it's a little bit more creamy when you're blending it rather than just drawing the line. I'm going to use a Illamasqua Precision Gel Liner, and I'm literally just going to... I keep using 100 different brushes and I feel bad because it's probably easier for you guys just to show you less, to make this a little bit simpler, but it's fine. I'm just going to take a little bit on this flat brush and I'm literally just going to press it into this corner. Just press it. You don't want to bring it, you don't want to go into the blend that you've created. It's just for this corner to sort of darken and deepen it up a little bit. And you don't have to do this, guys, this is an option, this part, but if you just want a little bit more depth and that intense black. And then what we can do is we can go back over this with a little bit more shadow because it sticks a little bit better when you've got a wet base, and it will just make it nice, super dark and super smoky. I'm just going to sort of flick a tiny bit into my lash line, like this. And then you can go back in with like another flat brush, this Kitco one I'm using again, and just put a tiny bit more black over the top of that to set it. So I'm just going to take a Zoeva 224 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Enigma. It is this colour here, quite a nude colour, shake the excess off, and I'm just going to go into this little crease line here. Not too far up, just into the crease line, a little tiny bit, like so. It's not a very noticeable shade, it's quite a neutral shade, so it's just to give it a tiny little bit more depth. And then you can blend that out if you've got any lines with your big fluffy brush. The MAC brush would be great if you have it. And then I'm going to just peel off. And then we're just going to take a makeup wipe, use any makeup wipe you like. I love these makeup wipes by Johnson, they're literally my favourite ever. And then we're just going to clean it up. The line should be pretty good, but if you just keep your skin quite taut, I would suggest using like the sharp point of your finger and just pull your skin down and just clean up any areas that you've dropped. So that's the shadow done, guys. I think it is pretty good, pretty nice and smoky. So next I'm going to use some MAC strobe cream. This stuff is amazing, I love it. It's probably enough to be fair. So I'm going to use a beauty blender. I actually love the Real Techniques ones more so than the actual beauty blender ones. I love the beauty blender ones as well, but they're super expensive. These are a more reasonable price. So I'm going to use the YSL All Hours foundation. I love this foundation, it's really nice. This is in the shade BD60, if any of you were wondering. It's a medium to full coverage. It's really, really nice. I'm just going to blend this out. Do not worry about my neck if you think it's any lighter at the moment, because I do always bronze up my neck. This foundation always smells so nice. It's the same as the Touch of Clap foundation. I really like the scent of it. It's really nice and summery. Not that it's summer, but... I always do my brows last. I know that some people do their brows first. I find that really strange personally. Like, I do it sometimes, but I feel as though they just look better and less messy when I do them at the end, because otherwise I always get product in them or I move them around and it really irritates me. So then I'm going to use my favourite ever concealers, Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to actually use a bit of both. I've got 275 sand and light sand as well. This is like the actual, I've tried every other foundation, every concealer on the planet, guys. Wow, this is cute. And this is by far my favourite. By far. I've never found a concealer that I like as much as this. So I kind of focus on blending it down. Don't get anywhere near your liner because you will F it up like I just nearly did then. And then what you can do is you can take a flat concealer brush and you can I just pick up some of the products already down and I just follow the line. After you've done that, you can use your beauty blender again to blend it out. You can use a mini one as well, they're really good. Real Techniques also do mini ones. They're so cute. So yeah, then you can, after you've done that line and made it really sharp, you can just go back in and blend all of your concealer out. And I like to also bring this into my brows, just because it's a little bit more precise. I don't really care if I get product in my brows. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. I'm going to put a tiny bit more on because I want like a full coverage under eye. Very full coverage. Guys, have you ever been around like a boyfriend that's walked in on you at this part and you're like, hey there. I just put way too much of that on. I didn't really need all of that, to be honest. I really didn't. And then I'm just going to go back in with a big one and just blend it all together a little bit. And I'm going to take the Mercier translucent powder and my trusty Real Techniques brush. I don't know what one this is, but it's literally the best brush ever. Now, I don't like to bake. I think it makes your under eyes look super cakey. I don't really like what it looks like. I basically pat my brush in, tap off the excess, not a lot, and I just tap lightly over where I put my concealer. Get it as close as you can, obviously, up to here. Corner of your nose. Look at that. Same again for the other side. And sometimes I like to take it and just blend it into this part as well, so we don't have any lines from where we did our eyeshadow. That is a very good tip, guys. If you've got a bit of an error going on, you can always take these and just use it, or a clean brush with a little bit of translucent powder just to blend out eyeshadows if you have any parts that don't look very seamless. It always helps. And then I like to take it on my chin and smile lines as well. Sure, I just dribbled. Obviously thinking about iced coffee at this point. I just like to pat it here as well. Really pat it everywhere, to be honest. It's the whole face of Mercier powder. So first of all, I like to take a big fluffy brush. This is the Peaches and Cream PC04. Then I'm going to use the NYX bronzer, the matte bronzer in the shade Deep Tan. This bronzer is actually so good for the price, I just want to say. And then I just like to pat the bronzer, a light amount. I'm looking super pale on this camera, so it's starting to worry me, but I don't actually look pale in real life, so I hope it's not making me look like Casper. Because I promise I don't look like Casper. And I like to pat the bronzer and just set everything. I like to do this because it doesn't move your makeup around and you don't get as many lines. Like if you're going like this, sometimes it can look a bit liney. Then you can take a bit and put it on your neck if you're not going to tan. Then using my ABH contour kit, this is in medium to tan. I only really use the dark colour out of this, to be honest, and it's nearly gone. And I don't even know if they make it anymore, so I'm kind of sad about that. Kind of sad. And I'm going to use this 132 Zoeva brush. Take the darkest shade here. And what I like to do is just like to pull my saggy face and just bring the bronzer up like this in circular motions, lightly dust yourself some face shaping. Contour yourself to death. No, I'm joking. And then just around the perimeter of my hairline as well. You don't need to pull that back. Cute. I'm going to go back into this palette and take the slightly lighter brown, so this one. I'm going to take another fluffy brush. This is just the Molly O'Brien MO18. And I'm just going to carve out a bit of nose shape, just slightly. So we want to just take a little bit, build it up, don't go too mad because otherwise you'll look like you stuck your nose up someone's ass. And we want to leave a bit of like lightness in the centre, but we just want to bring this in so it just makes your nose look slightly snatched. And then I just go back into the brush that I used for the Laura Mercier powder. And I just kind of blend the sides in a little bit and this, so it's not too harsh. Next I'm gonna try and figure out what to do with these eyebrows because they aren't looking nice, to be honest. They look very dusty. So I'm just gonna brush back through them. Can anybody hear Ali? Boyfriend's obviously happy that he's winning on Call of Duty, bless him. So I'm going to brush them up and then slightly to the side. It's really hard with my brows because I don't know if any of you guys have the same problem, but I've got really super thick, coarse brows that I need to trim to do any sort of like non-scouse brow, non-scouse brow vibe because they're just so long and just they're just not the right kind of texture to do nice soap brows, if that makes sense, but we'll roll with it. So I just like to I haven't even said what I'm using. So I'm just going to use the NYX brow gel. This is in dark brown, number 5, and I'm going to take an Anastasia 7B brush. It's got both ends on it, and I just like to just do fake strokes pretty much through my brow. So I just take a bit of product and I just go and do some, basically some fake hairs through my brow. So I'm going to use some black eyeliner today. I'm going to use the Makeup Geek one, it's great. This one? Yeah. Well done. Second done. And I'm going to use the same brush from earlier and I'm just going to smoke it out slightly. And this has still got the black eyeshadow that I had on it. Then I'm going to take that tiny brush that I had earlier and I'm going to go into the ABH contour kit. I'm going to take the lighter brown shade. I'm just going to put a tiny bit underneath. The tiniest bit. And blend this in. This is not cute, but it's all a process, right? It's all a process. Then I see some people do their makeup like this and they look so nice even halfway through it. Don't know how, but... So guys, I'm just going to use the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face Illuminator again. And you don't need a lot. I just like to get some on my foundation palette. I then put a bit on my hand, blend it out, and I just get the tiniest bit on my finger and tap it in the areas that I want my highlighter. So my nose, cheekbones. You really don't need a lot, and make sure it's not super thick because otherwise it will probably pull your foundation off, which we don't want after doing all of that. Then I'm going to use my Inglot Sparkling Dust. This is for face, eyes and body. It's literally one of my favourite ever highlighters. So pretty, look at it. Look at that. And then I'm going to use a Peaches and Cream PC17 brush. I like to pat it and then just like not take too much because it is very pigmented and you need to just lightly pat it onto the areas that you want it. I feel like a pixie. You really don't need much, do you? Don't worry if you've gone wild like me and got it everywhere. You can just sort of blend it out with a bronzing brush. It's quite like a, it's not a very fine kind of dust, it's quite thick, so you don't really need much. And then I'm going to go in with just a slightly lighter colour, still a highlighter. I'm going to pick a tiny bit lighter. I'm just going to go over it just in the high points, so the middle section, so that we have a bit of dimension. Then I'm going to use some eyelashes by Elegar Lashes. These are literally so pretty and really wispy. They look great for this kind of eyeliner look. These are the style Rioja, I think that's how you say it. I know that people struggle with sticking their eyelashes down again, and you do get used to it. It is practice. It's all about practice. And one day when you've practiced enough, you'll be like, oh, it's so easy to do. But you have to find the right eyelash glue. It's really important, and it has to be really sticky, because there's nothing worse than sticking your lashes down and then them like coming off and not sticking down. So I definitely recommend using a very good glue. And also it's awkward if you're out and like your eyelash is hanging off. That's not cool later on in your night. I'm now going to just do a little bit of brow gel, Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and I'm just going to brush through them. It's just a clear brow gel, guys. They do coloured ones, but I feel like it just goes everywhere when I do this at the end. I use coloured brow gel. Lovely. So I'm just going to take the Benefit They're Real mascara. This mascara is so good, guys. Oh, highly recommend if you're looking for a new mascara. So good for top and bottom lashes. Amazing. And I just like to blend my lashes into the fake lashes, basically. Yeah, my card died, guys. Just what you want. I normally have my mouth wide open when I do my mascara as well. It's just like it's just a thing. So now I'm going to wipe off this. And then I'm going to use my favourite lip liner at the minute. I'm going to use Peaches and Cream liner in Punchline. I really need to sharpen this and I'm being really lazy, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm just going to use a Kiko number 2 clear lip gloss, to be honest. So I'm just going to put on a bit of MAC Full Fuchsia powder blush. It's a really hot pink, so you got to be careful with it because it is very bright. I'm just going to use a Spectrum A04 brush.
Come on, come on!
As you can tell, it's probably best that I shut the door so you can't hear my loudmouth boyfriend screaming his head off at Call of Duty. Yeah, as I was saying, Spectrum A04 brush. Tiny bit of this blush because it is so bright. I'm actually scared to use it. But I do actually like a bright blush, so I'm not scared to use it, you know? I'm not. Just build it up so you don't end up looking like a clown. So that is the finished makeup look, guys.
Back down to you again. If I get
watching, everybody. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful. I'm really grateful for all of your comments, your likes, and finding out what you want to watch, whether you like my content. So that would be really good if you could like and comment. And yeah, if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my mum's channel. Bye guys.